Pharma and medical device recruitment in Ireland. Hello, everybody. This is Storani, your international career consultant and LinkedIn expert. And this is my YouTube channel where I bring successful professionals that are already working in Europe and also bringing recruiters and HRs to continue help you to get your job in Europe, to land your job, the dream job in Europe. Today we have Camila here, and she is a recruitment consultant focused on pharmaceutical and life science positions, recruitment in Ireland. And she's going to talk about all this amazing and exponential growing area right now. Thank you very much, Camila, for being here.
No problem. Hi, everyone. Hi, Tana. And I hope that I can bring a little bit more information so I can help you guys to achieve your career here especially in Ireland.
Of course, always. I'm a headhunter here in the channel. It's always a pleasure. I'm honored, actually. Thank you very much for being here, because you know all the market, you know the positions, you know the companies, you know the industry, the inside of the industry, the little things that will help, candidates to get the job.
Yeah, I'll try to share as much as I can, and hopefully that will bring, a lot of ideas so people can, improve their CVs, improve their LinkedIn's, and maybe focus on the right path, because sometimes we search, we see so many informations on the internet and we don't even know where to start. So exactly. Hopefully, we can bring a little bit of more clarity on their path.
Amazing. So tell me a little bit about your experience, your background.
Yeah, so I've been a recruiter. We don't really use the term headhunter in Ireland per se. So usually if you're, because sometimes people are just trying, to find headhunters in LinkedIn. So it's easier to use recruitment consultant, recruiter, screener. Yeah. So that's one tip there if you're trying to find those people on LinkedIn. So it's been 3 years now. I'm from a life science background myself. So I have a biomedical degree. So I've been there, on the other side, job hunting for those type of roles. Yeah. So, and that's something that actually has helped me to get the recruitment job, because a lot of the companies here in the UK, they have a preference to have someone with a science background, more than sales or more than, as a recruiter, because it's someone that has an understanding from the inside.
Exactly.
And will have, so
it's really hard.
It is.
Pharma CVs are the worst for me to do. Seriously, I've done nuclear engineering CVs. Is not as difficult as the pharmaceutical ones.
Yeah, it's just because I think there are a lot of details that the hiring managers are looking for. And I think the CVs for pharma people, they are usually like 4 or 5 pages. Sometimes they just like to put it as many as information there, which is good, which actually it helps a lot. The hiring managers like that. And so, but it's just a lot of information, because there are so many different departments, and so many opportunities that we have inside the pharma. So you have quality control and analysts, and then you have everyone from manufacturing side. So all the engineers, validation engineers, CQVs, the guys from IT, and then you have people taking care of the supply chain. So it's such a big, so many opportunities in so many departments.
So many opportunities.
Yeah.
Exactly. So tell us about the market right now. It is a exponentially growing market, like the pharmaceutical, life science is just non-stop growing. They are recruiting massively, right?
Yes. Yeah,
And
exactly.
so tell us a little bit. Tell us your overview, and like where are the areas where like candidates can apply, or areas that are easier to get in the companies.
Yes, exactly. So pharmaceutical, especially here in Ireland, there's so many opportunities because you have such big manufacturing sites in Dublin, Galway, and Limerick, and Cork. So you have all across Ireland, and even if you're Northern Ireland, you do have pharmaceutical sites there as well. So, and I think it's a non-stop, and it has grown a lot. Even with COVID, a lot of companies put it as a hold on the hirings, but not because they didn't have jobs. It's just because they didn't know what to do. They were just kind of uncertain. So now that things are back on track, it's just a non-stop requirement. It hasn't gone quiet. So definitely, if you're interested in this area, especially on the quality control side of it, and they have a lot of turnover. So a lot of people come from different countries from Europe just to work in Ireland on those sites as well. I've seen that happen a lot, and we don't have as many workers in Ireland as we wish we would have. So it's really hard to job hunting, to be completely honest. So where are you guys? Just come to Ireland. Yeah, we don't have as many workers. So I think most of the pharmaceuticals jobs are on the critical skills as well, which helps a lot. Yeah, so because we just don't have enough workers here. So quality control is
visa. The pharmaceuticals pay the visa. They pay like this. All my clients from the pharmaceutical industry, they got the visa.
Yeah, most of them are kind of educated, how the process goes. So the companies are already familiar, like Novartis. They are familiar with the process, for sponsoring a visa. There is just one thing that I would like to mention regarding pharmaceutical companies. They use a lot of MSPs, which is managed service providers.
Right.
Yeah, that's a third party company that will do all the hiring process. So from headhunting, and sometimes even you're doing pre-screening interview, and then once that they got the job, they are not employed directly by the pharma. They are employed by this service partner.
Right.
If it is very, very common for pharmaceutical companies to use this service, and that
they don't pay a visa, right?
They don't pay a visa. So that might be the problem, because it's not allowed to go on the sponsorship, because would be like through an agency, and to get the visa you have to go through directly the company. So I work in a company that I am at the moment. They do this service as an MSP provider. So a lot of our workers, they are working through us inside the company. It's like a third party in Brazil.
Outsourcing.
Outsourcing. Exactly. We have that in Brazil, different terms. Yeah, but it's just very common here, and sometimes it might be something, on the way for someone getting a visa. So it's just something
really important to advise the recruitment consultant or the recruiter straight away if you are allowed or not to work full-time in the year, right?
Yes, exactly. Because sometimes you might even go to the interview process, hoping, oh no, they're going to like me, and then they will sponsor the visa. And it's not that they don't want to. It's just, it's not allowed. You're not allowed to sponsor. You just can't.
Guys, when we say it's not allowed, it's by law. Okay. So a recruitment agency or a company, an unlimited company can, but a recruitment agency can't. They cannot pay you the visa. Full stop.
Yeah. it's not that we don't want to. I would love
Yeah,
to pay for
exactly.
everyone's visa.
And then and then comes, you know, like so some professionals that have already told me, oh, Tana, I'm working from a deco, but it's your umbrella
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
a deco that's a
Yeah.
limited company and it's paying sponsoring me the visa. But then, guys, this is I've seen it only 90.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not gonna get an IT because
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with
No,
that
let's
market,
go
but
back to the
yeah.
pharma roles. So, which
But
roles are
yeah.
most recruiting now? Which roles are most recruiting for?
Yeah, so exactly. I was saying before I got on hold of this MSP. The roles that are most wanted at the moment, it's quality control. So what I mean is people with HPLC experience, which is a skill very, very wanted here in pharmaceuticals. It's a machine. It's a testing, and like I think 90% of the pharmaceuticals they go through that process. So, and it's really hard to find people that has experience in it. I think most people, I don't know if they don't like it to stay, doing that, operating that machine, or what's the story, but it's really hard to find people that can do the job. So if you do have experience with HPLC, it's something that it's always wanted. It's very hot on the market. I say like wet chemistry, and it's something that's definitely going to get you inside. So those two, since the 3 years that I have been working with pharmaceutical, at least like every month or every 2 months, I will have something, either in Dublin or in Cork or in Galway. It's going to be open somewhere. Another skill that they are always looking for is quality assurance. So it's if you have experience with it, with documentation, CAPA, deviations, it's very required as well inside the industry. And then if we move to the engineering sides, so engineers, which has a lot of transferable skills as well from medical device, from other biotech companies that you can transfer inside pharmaceutical companies. So for validation engineers, CQV engineers, process engineers, it's something that's always going to be on the market as well. And most of the sites in Ireland, they are not research or development. They are not like, it's not marketing, it's not the site that, the office, it's the manufacturing sites. So so that's why engineers are very important as well. And you're probably going to find a lot of opportunities here.
That's very nice. And quick question. I know a lot of candidates that are trying to migrate to pharma or life science from other industries. Okay, because of course it's an industry that it's growing and there's a lot of opportunities. So I see a lot of professionals trying to apply
To the
for
transition,
pharmaceutical
yeah.
companies.
Yeah, I think
Is there
pharmaceutical.
any opportunity, or is there any area that like a pharmaceutical company would accept?
Yeah,
Because they don't accept.
I
They
know. It's
only like
really, yeah.
professionals that have experience in pharma.
Yes, I know. It's really hard to find pharmaceutical companies open to that transition, even though we understand that there are a lot of transferable skills. It's not that we don't think that the person would be good enough. It's just because sometimes the training for GMP, that's good manufacturing practice, or GLP, good laboratory practice, sometimes they are just not interested in spending time training those people in the system that they are using, either it's LIMS, labware, or whatever. So sometimes it's just, it's not that they don't want to, but they don't have that time to do the training, or they don't even have sometimes you're really experienced on, let's say you're really experienced in analytical chemistry, but outside the pharma. And then inside it's different because it's a fast-paced environment. You do have the GMP requirements. The SOPs are different, and it's easier just to get someone that is just graduated and train them than get someone, you know, that has a lot of years experience that might be expensive. Let's put it this way, and then give that person the opportunity. But that person will need to go to all the training that an internship would do it.
Yeah.
So it is hard, but there is one way in for not really for the engineers, but people from the science on the lab side. There is like a way, you know, there is one step that you can get there. It's going through private labs that does third-party testing for pharmaceutical. So I'll give you an example. We have it in Ireland, a company, not doing sponsorship for this company. I just know that they do this service, 2 of them actually. One is called Trinity Biotech in Dublin, and one is called PPD. They both do testings for drugs. So they have to get quite familiar with the SOPs, the process, the GMP requirements for testing that drug. So that's a great way in. If you don't have experience inside the manufacturing side, focus on those companies instead. So just try to find those private labs that will do the service for the pharmaceuticals. Nice. Because you're going to gain all the training, all the experience that you're going to need. And then definitely those companies are well known inside the pharmaceutical. So it's a very easy way to get in. I've seen a lot of people coming from these companies there that made their step there.
Very good. Thank you very much, Camila, for this tip.
There is always a way in. Like I know it's hard sometimes that it seems, but this is a very, very good way. Even myself, when I was not sure, when I just arrived in Ireland and I was like, what am I gonna do? And like from my background in science, so I had that opportunity to try to, you know, go through my career here, but I wasn't sure as well. And actually going through those job fairs and talking to people, I found someone from one of those companies, and they explained it, how it worked. And it seems good. I didn't want to relocate it at the time, so I didn't took the opportunity, but definitely it's a great way in.
Interesting. Very good. Thank you. And what about CVs? CVs and cover letters. So what are essentials and required?
So CVs, cover letters, usually for when you're using an agency, when you're using a headhunter, cover letters are not that important unless they require you one. Because we actually don't have time to go through all the cover letters. I wish we had. So if you're going to have to focus on something, if you need to send your CV straight away, that's a really important point that I want to mention. If a recruiter got in touch with you through LinkedIn, through email, through phone, and ask, you know, for your CV, just do whatever you can to send it straight away. Pharma roles in Ireland, they move very fast. So, you know, if you leave for the next day, that might be gone. The hiring manager might have enough CVs to go through, and, you know, you're just going to miss out the opportunity. So just try to...
must be ready.
Exactly. And we have time as well to send. We have a time frame. We have a deadline until when we can send the CVs to the hiring managers. So it has to work both ways. We have our deadline. It's not because I might find you great, you have a great LinkedIn profile, but I needed to send the CV to the end of the day. I'm going to go with someone else. So that's something, if you can, just, you know, have it ready, save it on your phone. Don't wait until you get home. Just send the CV as fast as you can. And so one thing that I found here, that you probably already told that on your channel, that in Brazil, I think the CVs are very, very short and, you know, straight to the point. And here in Ireland, it's completely the opposite.
Yes, they love achievements, they love projects, they love the technical skills. and the soft
Yeah.
skills and the computer skills. And there's what else? There is language skills, all the skills in the CV.
Exactly. So just make sure that you have, all the information is required, and, get educated and on how it is a CV on the country that you want to move to, regardless if it's Ireland or not. Just, get educated. Don't assume that it's the same everywhere. So about the CVs and cover letters, and I think it's very important that you have a CV that it's aligned to the expectations of the hiring managers of the country that you're applying. So it's very important to remember that if you're in Brazil, the CV is not, it's very tied up, it's very short, it's straight to the point, which is completely different from the CVs that they are going to expect that you have here in Ireland.
Yeah.
So, and just put it as many as information as you can. Just make sure that it's all tied up. I think Tana has a lot of tips on more than I do. Yeah.
Project, soft skills, technical skills, computer skills, language skills, all this.
Exactly. Yeah. So just make sure that you have, as much as information as you can. Of course, just don't put anything there just for the sake of, of being, a big CV. That's not what we were talking about. We were just talking just make sure that you have all your projects there. And I've seen project managers with 20 years experience with 4 or 5 pages of CVs. And don't be scared and to put it all the projects, all the softwares, all the testing that you have done in labs and documentation that you have used. So just make sure that you have all that on the CV. And that's something that I want to say as well from the headhunting side, because I think everyone heard that, headhunters just spend 10 seconds per CV. That's not true. And it's not that we're going to open the CV, 10 seconds, done. It's just because we use softwares that are going to do the work for us. And so I'm going to type down the skill that I want to work with. So for example, HPLC, that is something that's very required for pharma. I'm going to type HPLC, analytical chemistry. And if the person don't have, then I'm going to, they're going to bring me the CVs that has, those keywords. And if you don't have that on your CV, sometimes you have used that, but you didn't put it on your CV. Yeah, you're going to miss out. So that's why it's important to have, CVs with the proper information. And I think it's really nice to have a summary at the beginning. Sometimes it helps a lot to understand how many years experience you had. It's something quick, because sometimes we need someone with 10 years experience. And even though you have the keywords, you have the skills, but you only have 2. There is nothing that we can do, the hiring manager is not going to want to interview you, even though you might be very good in your job. Sometimes a requirement, it's a requirement. So just be honest, put it on your CV. Don't be afraid if you're a junior. Just show that you're, you have your soft skills. That's going to get you there. And cover letters, I would say that's not something very common for pharmaceutical. They might ask, depending on the job, that you need to fill it in on the website, just to put it a short summary that will count you as your cover letter. But as long as you have a nice CV with all the skills, all the achievements, and that you have done, that's definitely that. And be tight, on your CV. Don't just put it a lot of, some people just like to put it, I don't know, I'm going to put red here, and then I'm going to put green on the top, and then I'm going to put my picture, and then, they just started doing, that's might be nice for marketing or for other type of, but pharmaceutical, they just want a nice tight CV.
And very old-fashioned, I would say.
Yeah,
they focus on the skills, they focus on the way you write the CV. Also add a lot of technical information, and you can find this technical information in the job descriptions. So a lot of clients ask me, but Tana, should I add the types of analysis that I know or I worked with in the past, or should I type in the chemicals or the substances I've used? Yes, please.
Yes.
And that's why it's difficult for me to write a CV for pharmaceutical company, because I don't know the substances. I don't know, the pepita.
Yeah. And don't,
It
yeah,
has to come from
that's
the
important.
candidate.
Yeah.
No.
And that's a big part of the CV, because sometimes I get CVs that people just put it, oh, I'm analytical chemistry. I have used wet chemistry. Okay, but what exactly on wet chemistry have you done? Because we have so many type of testings, and so sometimes that's one particular testing that it's going to get you in. So just don't be broad. Yeah, try to be specific what you have done.
Exactly.
Yeah, because that's what they are looking for.
The recruiter will type this test or will type this substance in LinkedIn or in the software, and if you don't have the substance in your CV, it won't pop up.
Exactly, yeah, and you're gonna miss out, because I think that's what that comes from recruiters, that we spend 10 seconds. It's not that we spend 10 seconds, it's just because we don't have time to call everyone. Look, I saw that on your CV. Do you by chance have blah, blah, X, Y, and Z? We're not gonna do that. We're just gonna call the ones that we would think that might get the role. Be detailed on your CV. That's very, very, very important. And only LinkedIn as well, because that's the main tool that I use today for my recruitment. It's LinkedIn Recruiter. So we have a special LinkedIn for recruiters, and that's where I'm going to post most of my jobs. That's where I'm going to headhunt people. So if you don't have a nice LinkedIn done, you're definitely going to miss out opportunities. And if you have that's another thing that I think it's very nice for people that are looking for roles. Sometimes you might receive messages about a position and about a 12 months contract that it's not eligible for visa. And then people sometimes just like, oh, they try to get in, or they just try to be sneaky. If you know that the role is not for you, just be honest with the recruiter. They might have something else to give it to you, or just don't say, oh no, I'm not interested. Okay, but what are you interested in? Okay, if that's not the job, if that's not your skill, sorry, we were just trying to do our role. We're just trying to understand. We don't know everything, but tell us. Just type it back, just write it back. Oh, look, this is not, I'm not suitable for this role. I'm looking something this and this. Oh no, I'm not looking in Dublin, but I'm looking in another city. Don't assume that's the only role that I will have. I might have something else. I might have colleagues that have something else. So make the connection. If the recruiter has approached you, start the conversation.
And also, don't assume that that's the only role the recruitment consultants have. Because that's what they assume, like, okay, so they only have this position. No. And also, guys, you have to understand, recruitment consultants, they're not the recruiter, the in-house recruiter. They sell you. You are the product. All right. Yes. So that means they advocate on your behalf. It can be an advocate. It can be a help, not for only now, but for the future as well. Because maybe in 6 months, Camila will start working with another client, another company, and the position is exactly the one you were seeking for.
Exactly. And I had so many cases that happened, even with Brazilians. I met a Brazilian girl, I don't know, I think a year and a half ago. And by the time she was finishing her master's, or I don't quite remember why she couldn't apply to the role at that very moment. But she was she was open and honest, saying, look, I can't do this right now, but from that moment on, this is what I'm looking at. Here, have my CV anyway. We are going to put it in our database. It's going to be saved. And, when the right job comes, it's going to pop back, and I will put it a reminder. We're going to write on our system, oh, she's available from January on. And then we know, and then I think a year and a half later, I had a role that was exactly what, she was suitable for, and was the right timing. I went back straight away to her. It's good for me because I already have someone. I don't need to headhunt. And it's good for her because, everything works out for both sides. So exactly what you say, Tana. It's a sales job at the end of the day.
So it's a sales job, exactly.
Exactly. It's selling the candidate to the company. And sometimes I have to sell the company to the candidate because it might be a company that you're not familiar with or you're not sure. Then, we have to play both sides. So just find, if you haven't been approached by anyone, go on LinkedIn, add the requests to make the connection with recruiters, make a small text, small text. Hi, I'm Camila. That's
so
something
tell us some best practices and messages.
Yeah, it's straight to the point. Don't waste too much time on those messages. I don't think you even can put it that many characters there, but just
300.
put it yeah. Oh yeah, is it?
Yeah, I know.
So straight to the point. Your name, where you're based. We don't mind where you're from, where you're based, or where you're looking for the role. And just be, because you don't have that many, so you don't waste your time putting, hi, I'm Camila, I'm from Brazil, but I'm thinking about going. No, just put it straight to the point. Yeah, hi, I'm Camila, I'm looking for roles in Dublin, in that area. I'm a quality assurance officer and I have 10 years experience. That's it.
Please
straight to the point.
To contact me for future or current positions. So think the recruitment consultant as a consultant, as a friend. That of course will get money out of this deal.
Not as much as we hoped, please. So many people think that most of the recruiters are like throwing money out of the window. It's not like this for most recruitment agencies. And of course, there are some of them that work like with senior, only with senior roles. I've worked in one once. Wasn't for me. I know that you can make a lot of money, but most of us don't. It's not that much. Most goes to our.
I rather have a good quality of life.
Yeah, exactly.
I know how it is to work in a recruitment agency. I have a very sensitive, I would say so, question. Okay. Lately, some clients of mine have been complaining that recruitment consultants, they reach them, okay, they headhunt them, talk to them, pre-screen to them, send their CV to the company or to the client, and then disappears. So what to do? Like, what would you recommend in this situation? Because you are a recruitment consultant. I know it's not best practice. I'm the one to blame. I know it's not best practice, but it's been happening a lot.
And I'm not gonna say that I haven't done that. And I think we all have been there, and when we are overwhelmed, and I think there are a few points that might happen. I don't think it's always the company's fault, or always the recruiter's fault, and I think that there might be a few good reasons that might happen. One of them, I'm going to blame the pharmaceuticals or the medical device or the biotech companies. And I, for example, I have roles that are open for at least 4 months, and the hiring manager hasn't made a decision. So it's not that I have disappeared. I just don't have anything to tell them. And we are sometimes so overwhelmed and so busy that I just don't have the time to keep, track to everyone and email them from time to time. Oh, I still don't have an update. If we don't have an update, we just, we kind of forget about that. And once that we have that, will come back to life, or if it's rejected, or if it's for an interview, then we're going to come back to the to the candidates. So that might be one point. Sometimes, depending on it's not even about the company. I think it's really up to the hiring managers, because they have, inside the same company, hiring managers that come back in a week or two, and managers that I have it open for, a really long time. It's not urgent. Oh, I'll see. And it's just there, you haven't been rejected. You just don't have anything to say.
Or they close the position and never and never get back to the
candidate. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes, yeah, it happens. Depending, it really depends. Sometimes as you said, the role is closed, or sometimes the company it becomes start closing a lot of positions and open new requirements. Oh, those ones are too old, we want new ones, and then we become overwhelmed with the new ones, and it's hard sometimes to keep track. It really depends of the system that we are using inside the recruitment company as well. Some of them are easier to keep track of the candidates and let them know what's going on. Some of them are old school, so we lost track. I think it's a little bit of everyone to blame. But if that it's been a month, 2 months, and you're still looking for a role, and you want to know what's the situation, I think there's no harm to go back to the recruiter and ask, hi, can you please give me an update? Be polite, because sometimes it's not our fault. And I have received so many emails, oh, you owe me an explanation. I was like, excuse me. Just be nice, just be polite, just, hi, can I have an updated, what's the situation with this position, do you have anything else available, I'm still in the search, or something like
would
this.
Be nice a call.
I'm not the best person to ask for a phone call. I'm on the phone a lot with sometimes with candidates, and I'm on the interviews that sometimes takes half an hour. So my phone will ring 2 or 3 times sometimes during the and I'm speaking with someone else, and it's really if the person doesn't leave it a voicemail, I'm not going to call back. So it's not. I don't think it's easy to get recruiters on the phone straight away. That they're going to answer. So I think email or LinkedIn, it's the best tool. If you want to call, there is no harm to call. I just don't think most of us will answer. So just send a message, just see what's going on. We try our best to keep everyone updated if the role is no longer available, or if you have been rejected, but sometimes we just don't have anything to give in an update. And it's hard on the people that are looking for roles, because you're just so anxious and what's going on. But it just, especially for permanent positions, it takes time. They're taking their time. They're not in a hurry. If it is a permanent position, they are not in a hurry to hire. If it is a contract position, 12 months, 18 months, probably they will come back to you faster. But if it is a permanent, they will take their time. I think that's very, very common here.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I think the last thing that I just that I just want to say about everyone that is looking for roles in an English-speaking country, don't be afraid to use your English. I'm not fluent. I don't have an Irish accent. It's not a British accent. It's just, as long as you make yourself understandable, as long as you can have a conversation, as long as you can understand what they're asking, and you don't need to understand first time. It's okay to say, I'm sorry, could you please repeat that? Sometimes the line is not clear if you're doing it on the phone. Even on your own language, sometimes you have to ask for the person to repeat what they just said. Just do it, just use their confidence, and just go for it. Because I receive a lot of people saying, oh, my English is, it's still not good. You're the only person that can say, oh, I'm sorry, your English is not good for this role, it's the hiring manager. And he's only going to know.
Exactly. That's what I always say. Don't say your English is bad, or apologize for your English. The only one that, like, you have to say you're amazing, your English is good, you're able to do whatever their hiring managers is requiring you to do so. don't say it. The only one that can say something is the recruiter or the hiring manager.
Exactly.
And you have to let them decide. You have to give yourself the chance. Always. Guys, please stop this pause the video right now and just think, am I giving myself the right chance, the correct chance? But wait, peraí, que agora eu já, am I giving the chance? Eu não sei falar isso, foda-se.
A chance, am I giving a chance?
But anyway, stop this video and just reflect, okay, in everything we just said, because here a recruiter saying that it's okay if your English is not fluent. It's okay. Just go for it. Just try it. The only one that needs to decide if your English is good or not is the
hiring manager. Yeah. Then like, don't be offended if by chance that happens to you. If you're talking to a recruiter, or if someone comes back to you saying, sorry, your English, was a problem. You don't have enough communication skills. That might happen, but don't let that, lack your confidence. Don't let that be a problem on your confidence for future roles. You don't know, maybe other hiring manager don't think that will be a problem. And I think it really depends the area that you're applying to as well. Of course, you're applying for a supply chain role that you have to be communicating all the time. That might be, something that might come across, as an issue. But for most of the roles, leave the hiring manager or the recruiter decides that for you. Just be confident. As long as you can make yourself understandable, as long as you can understand the questions that are going to be asked on an interview, I think that's fine.
Thank you very much for telling us all this amazing content, this amazing knowledge, because it makes such a difference, impacts a lot. All this professionals' lives and career.
Yeah,
like everything you're saying right now can change a career.
Yeah, I hope it will. Yeah, and knowledge is to be shared. So if anyone needs, any tip or anything, I'm not going to do anyone's CV or anything like this. Right. So yeah, if you need it, if you want to know about a particular company or a particular role inside the pharmaceutical company, myself or other recruiters are here to help. So don't be afraid, ask questions, and try to make those connections happen, because that's what's going to get you in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any final tip or final information, insight, strategy that you have to help our clients or our international professionals watching us?
If you're called for an interview, be prepared and enjoy the conversation, because they are not only assessing you for your skills, they are also assessing you for, how good you're going to fit in the team. So just try to enjoy as well the conversation. Yeah, exactly. And that's definitely something that will help you get
and STAR technique, right?
Yes, so that's very used for 99% of manufacturing, pharmaceutical, medical device. They are going to use STAR techniques. I think most of the companies in Ireland, not even in life science, they're going to use STAR techniques. So study on the storytelling that you're going to use. Make sure that you have the answers ready on your head, and enjoy.
Amazing. Thank you very much for being here on the channel, for sharing all this amazing content. You cannot imagine how happy I am. Thank you, Camila.
Thank you. No, I really hope to help someone.
And we will leave Camila's LinkedIn down below here. If you want to get to send a message to her, just do it. And that's it. We see each other in the next video.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.